Hi, today we will talk about provenance-based algorithms for rich queries over graph databases. We start by introducing data structure we will use during this talk. Graph databases are a common way to manage graph-like data. Notable applications belong to social network analysis, transportation networks, or the semantic web. They are typically queried using navigational queries, and during this talk, we will focus on regular path queries. These queries select some pair of vertices that are joinable by a path belonging to a regular language. Provenance annotations provide additional information within a graph database to enrich the queries. These annotations are propagated to query results and can be used to determine how the result has been computed and how it reacts to slight changes in the initial database. A strong mathematical foundation is to choose provenance annotation to be elements of a submarines. This has been introduced for relational database and data log. Submarines are a well-suited model for operations carried along in computations. The choices are the plus of the submarine and the sequences are the times of the submarine. For example, the shortest path problem can be rephrased as solving equational systems over submarines. We now show how we put together all these things for our concern. We will consider continental size transportation networks, and we will modelize them using graphs with labels. The labels can represent the type of junction, for example, if there are some highways. And we also have the provenance annotation that can be, for instance, some integers. And the semantic can be the time to move between two different vertices. Using submarines, we can ask what is the minimum time to move between two vertices. So in this case, we can ask the minimum travel time between S and T. In this case, the answer is 4, but if we had restriction using RPQs, we then want to only consider paths going through 2B edges. So in this case, the shortest path is 9. It is also possible to give a different semantic for the integers. So now the integer represents number of paths between two vertices. And we can ask what is the total number of paths between S and T. And as before, we can still consider only paths going through 2B edges using RPQ. We now study a more intricate example using the K-feature submarine. In this case, this considers the use case of having two different kinds of vehicles. One vehicle is an electric car that needs a charging station along the road, and the other one is a big truck that needs a clearance of at least 3 meters. Then we ask if it exists a collection of paths permitting for each of the kind of vehicles to reach the destination. So we now show the hierarchy. So the hierarchy relates the submarines, their properties, and the algorithm we can use to compute provenance among using this submarine as annotations. So for the complexity, we say that the Murray algorithm is exponential and the Dijkstra algorithm is almost linear. But for zero-closed submarines that are not total ordered, we can only use the Murray algorithm. So this gap is really huge, and we tried to fix and bridge this gap. So we partially succeeded for a class of zero-closed times idempotent submarines. This covers the K-features submarines. We now dive into the details of our new algorithms. So, zero-closed multiplicatively idempotent submarines are equivalent to bounded distributive lattices. So the idea is to consider as a parameter the width of the chain decomposition of the joint irreducible elements of the lattice. Then each element of the lattice can be uniquely represented as a combination of joint irreducible elements. Thus, we can apply Dijkstra independently for each component because they are all totally ordered. So we get this new algorithm with some specific decompose and recompose operations that are highly dependent on the submarine we consider. And the final complexity is L times the complexity of the Dijkstra algorithm. We now present you the experimental part, witnessing that our new algorithm is really useful in practice. So we have considered multiple real datasets, and a first observation is that the initial weights are not so useful in practice. So we can use uniformly generated weights or randomly generated weights because the efficiency of our algorithm does not depend that much on the weights. We first evaluate shortest distances with all of our algorithm. So BFS stands for not using provenance at all. So we see that Dijkstra is not so far worse than not using provenance at all, and the most general algorithm, that is the node elimination algorithm, is really bad. We now evaluate our new algorithm and compared it to Mori and node elimination. So we first tried to compare on a 3-feature summary, and what we have seen is that that's not so much difference with the Mori algorithm, but the Mori algorithm was exponentially in practice. So we have pursued our experimentation, and we realized that for a number of dimensions or a size of dimension that is either more than 4, the Mori algorithm is not tractable, but our algorithm is still really effective in practice. So this witness that our new algorithm permits us to compute some queries that were not computable efficiently before. So now we will talk about the perspectives of our work. So we now want to compare the expressive power and efficiency with the notion of provenance for data log, because we have seen that optimization techniques such as Dijkstra-like algorithm can be also applied for hypergraphs and context-free grammars that are very close to data log, because there are some striking similarities between important classes of submarine in most of these frameworks. So thank you for your attention.